So, welcome back to Memoria here in Final Fantasy IX. Memoria is a giant ball realm made out of the people's memories. I'd go into it, but we're leaving. Why? Because we've got a few other story events I know of that we need to tackle. I think it's going to take a long time, but something that will add a little bit more flavor, a little bit more closure to the story of our intrepid group of heroes. And I'm completely going the wrong way. I don't even know where I'm going. We don't want to go to that continent. We want to go to this one. There's Dali. There's Trino. Here's what we wanted. Quan's Dwelling. This is an optional scene that you can get only if you bring Kiki and Vivi, or Kina and Vivi, to Quan's Dwelling after you come back on Disc 4.
Something smell.
What's wrong, Kiki? You just came out of nowhere.
You know smell? Something smell wonderful.
No, my nose doesn't work like yours does. What happened?
It's amazing, the Dane. It's miracle.
Huh?
It's a feast.
Whoa.
It's unbelievable.
How is that glass not getting any fuller? I can only assume it's actually secretly draining down through the bottom into the barrel, and that barrel is somehow pumping it back up to the top barrel that says wine. Also, I like how it's just labeled wine, so you know that, like, they're not drinking blood. A distinguishment that I would have appreciated in my youth. Distinguishment? Is that even a word? Here's Siri over my shoulder, whispering, no.
I'll look up. They'll look up at me and say, is that a word? And I'll look down upon them and say, no. It's unbelievable. I know not where to start. What I eat first? Oh. It's so good. Oh. It's delicious. Delicious.
Hey, Kiki?
I no eat anymore.
Oh, man.
Huh? Oh, what happened? Beast is gone.
What are you talking about, Kiki? I think you're hallucinating.
It's not true. I saw with my own eyes.
But you were just running around.
I smell something this way.
Hey, Kiki. Ugh, jeez. Kiki, you stop!
Huh? I finally here. Who you? You one who sold me illusion? I Quan.
So this is Vivi's granddad.
Is illusion, if only if you see illusion. You saw because you traveled around the world. What do you mean? It's cheap trick. Master, what do you talk about?
For those who don't remember, there was a scene way back when we first recruited Kiki, where we talked to Kiki's master, and they told us that Quan didn't know who Quan was, and also that Quan was a dirty liar. This is the culmination of that scene.
He my former master. He run away and escaped training. I no run from training. It is you who made mistake. What? To eat everything, not true way of gourmand. Your student already start to realize. Kiki, what you saw? You used imagination. Is your imagination you used to eat? I not know, but it tastes like real food. Is all good. You travel around the world and gain imagination. People who no have imagination, no taste until they actually eat. You use imagination. It's possible to taste all food in world. It no matter if story somebody else tell, it's possible to eat with your imagination. How did Master's master learn this? Is because...
Grandpa!
Vivi, you no grow much at all. It's thanks to Vivi I learn about imagination. I teach Vivi, who not know anything about world outside. My imagination grow very big as I teach him.
Grandpa.
To eat, same as to live. Vivi, you understand? To see, not only thing, to think and talk, just as important. Life end when you die, but imagination share with others, live forever. My spirit almost gone is where my imagination end.
No. Are you gonna go going away again, Grandpa?
No need to be sad, Vivi. As long as you imagine, I by your side. Kiki and Quail, good luck. Master!
Hey, who are you guys talking to? What?
Kiki, I start over from beginning. Master!
No, who were you talking to?
You know Caesar Dane?
You're not believing with us, Peter. You're not believing. See what? I saw you guys talking into space.
I see. You still have long way to go, Zidane.
Never mind, Zidane. I'll tell you about it some other time. Huh? Let's get going. There's still many things to understand. Yeah. Huh? Oh. What are running shoes? They teach auto haste. Heck yeah! I want to learn me some auto haste. So that's one of two scenes I wanted to view before we got into the final dungeon. The other is a bit more of a trek. Well, I mean, not really a trek, but it's got more steps to it. And I actually had to look up how to do this, just so we could get the scene. But I felt it was, again, a completely optional scene that doesn't actually, you know, it doesn't even give you an item or anything, but it's one of those things that just, like, it really helps the story, I think. And that means we have to go here to Madain Sari. As of note, we have Gunblade with us. Hi, Moguls. The Moog Bros. Huh? Oh, someone's down there in the corner. Oh, you can't see her because I'm in the way. Give me 1 second. Look who's hiding out below there. I think we recognize that headband, don't we? If we approach, she takes off and runs away. The trick to getting her to stick around, as it turns out, we gotta go all the way back to the Invincible. And paradoxically, despite the fact that this kind of has a lot to do with Garnet, we can't have Garnet in the party. We'll bring Aiko. Or Siri. Something right here? Hey, we got a tent. Sweet. Sorry. I'm running past all these poor Moogles. If we don't have Garnet or or Blue with us, Amaranth, now we can talk. What are you doing here?
I tried to get back to the Mist Continent. The fossil road was blocked, and the Alexandrian fleet was destroyed before my eyes. I became so weak after wandering around for days, then the Moogles here rescued me. Oh my god. That's when I realized I've been so selfish all my life. It's so wonderful living with Moogles. I haven't thought about money once since I've been here. I'm glad I lost our last fight. You know, I saw some words that mean something in a small room back over there.
We go into the small room over here. There's something carved on it. Time moves forward once. Time moves backward once. 9 is the last number. It is also the first. Movement of time. It's talking about a clock. Forward is clockwise and backwards is counterclockwise. Aww, Zidane knows how to tell time. He gets really good at that. We could move on to spelling polysyllabic words. Maybe division. Now with that little bit of information, you start walking around the walls. And if you listen really closely, you can hear a little beep every time we go past the door. The downside is we have to do this like 9 times, like it said. And I can't run in here either. But this scene does give us some very good lore and explanation, talk more about the summoner culture and what happened there. There we go. HP and MP restored. We have officially done it. Fear not the power of summon magic, but though the ones who use it. Greed and instability endlessly repeat old mistakes. Will omniscience set us free? Unlikely. This is where the fault lines collide. Listen to the planet's heartbeat. Breathe slowly. Calm your mind. Let memories return to you. Memories shape time. Time overlaps. The overlap becomes our memory. Memories construct time. History repeats itself. Try and you'll succeed. You're the best around. No one's ever gonna let you down. Such wisdom from the summoners. We must stand in its flow and understand the world. Such is the goal of our tribe. So their tribe, the Eidolon Wall, is built at the cross lines, the ley lines of where the planet's memories emerge. And by doing that, they're able to kind of see history and understand it and try and gain omniscience over all of history. To try and, not repeat the mistakes or try to understand where the world is going. I think this one's Rama. The Legend of Eidolons. We discovered Eidolons by researching legends documented from around the world. The thunder god Ramu is one of those legends. Some have theorized that the Eidolons were created from the legends and not the other way around. The first Eidolon discovered, Shiva. Shiva took the form of a young girl when she was first discovered. She now appears as a grown woman. Eidolon adapts their forms to the time and culture in which they appear. Shiva illustrates this theory. In certain areas, Shiva is depicted as a snow fairy. This cannot be verified, since the only written documents that remains is the Summoner Village. People associate Shiva with the snow fairy. Why she changes forms remains a mystery. If you've played Final Fantasy XIV, this is sounding a little bit familiar to you, yes? The idea that summons primals in 14 start to take on the appearance of those who worship and summon them. And are shaped by collective belief then. Even in the latest stuff in Endwalker, they confirmed through the gods, the 12, that their reality and their very existence is altered by the belief of the people of the world below them. When Deimos, the Red Moon, was put into place in the sky by the Allagan Empire to hold Bahamut, people collectively saw a new Red Moon, and suddenly the goddess of the moon suddenly had a pet wolf that represented the second moon. Because people collectively now believe there were two moons, so the god of the moon had to have a second moon with them. Same thing here, like, we know that Shiva was a little girl, and we know time has passed, so we believe that the girl has aged. So Shiva becomes a woman. I'm not entirely sure what summon this drawing is supposed to be. When the arrogant ones summoned a power that could not be controlled, holy judgment was passed. The jewel of this village must serve as a reminder of the day we had to leave our country. Wait. The jewel of this village must serve as the... So this village is not where summoners originally came from. Is it supposed to be Alexander? I guess it kind of does look like a castle, so it could be interpreted as Alexander. Maybe an older interpretation of Alexander? He's the only one that's not represented on this wall in other ways that I've seen, so that probably is. Yeah, the summoners are not natively from Madain-Seri. Ifrit doesn't have one. Plus the whole Holy Judgment. Yeah, I guess that would tie in. Some of them have something to do with them, some of them don't. Like Carbuncle was just randomness. Had nothing to do with Carbuncle. We repeated the mistake our ancestors made 500 years ago when we attempted to summon at the foot of the Ifa tree. The area surrounding the tree was unaffected, but we sealed the area as they would have done 500 years ago. So they tried to summon Leviathan 500 years ago, and it blew up in their faces, so they had to seal it away there. Ciri, my lovely child, or Aiko. Until you turn 16 and have your own Eidolon to control, stay in this village. Then build strong friendships with others. I wish for your happiness from far away. Aww. What is that one? Like it's got wings and spiky bits all over it? Looks like it's got a helmet. That's another one I'm not 100% sure of. Maybe it's supposed to be Madain? But Madain is more of like a giant werewolf thing. Time to look up the different summons again. I mean, there's only a few that I know that aren't... Like, if that's Alexander, that's Shiva, that's Rama, that's Phoenix. Wait, no, that's... Or is that Bahamut? Oh, maybe it's Phoenix. Maybe that's supposed to be Phoenix? Ciri, you are a treasure born to a dying village. We are dying, and there is little we can do for you. We shall return to the stars with one mission in mind. If legends are not born of Eidolons, and Eidolons are born out of legends, let us leave this place with one wish. If we can give birth to a legend, it shall create an Eidolon that is friend and protector of humans. Where's Odin on the wall? That's a good question. Maybe we haven't got to him yet? Or maybe that is Odin. I don't know, I've never actually summoned Odin in this game, so... No? Maybe that's Odin. Maybe that's Phoenix? Fenrir I know. Fenrir is right there. But this is why I don't think it's Madain, because Madain... See, according to this is like her parent... Aiko's parents died with a wish in their heart that they would create an Eidolon that would protect her. And that became Madain, or Mog. So, they couldn't have inscribed Madain on the wall because... it didn't even exist as a concept yet. Information is yet to be confirmed, but there was an eyewitness account of a previously undiscovered Eidolon. It was witnessed in Esto Gaza. If there is an Eidolon that can exist outside of our legends, our theory would no longer hold true. But maybe there are other tribes that have legends of their own. Trying to think what summon would have appeared in Estogaza. That's up in the north. Was that Odin? The only reason I think Odin might not be on this wall is because there's actually a thing that we missed in Ibsen's castle, where there's a whole thing where you can go and get an ability for Garnet that gives her the ability for Odin to do damage. And inside you find Odin's sword, and it's this massive sword that's shackled to the wall. So I'm wondering if, like what they're talking about with Estogaza, I'm wondering if Odin comes from a completely different culture. It also explains why Odin doesn't get... You don't learn Odin's summon from any of the jewels. You learn it from something called dark matter. Making it one of the ones that stands out. And now the last one. I survived the storm. I wonder if you two are okay. I see the two of you smile every time I close my eyes. I imagine I see you when I open my eyes. I have a mortal wound. I won't be able to wait for you very long. I regret being so unemotional for all these years. I'm writing down here everything in hope that you'll read it someday. To my dearest wife, Jane, although we fought many times, I may not have shown the affection, though I love you very much. To my beloved daughter, Sarah, my life changed when you were born. You made me happy. These are the things I want you to know. You know which one the giant tower is? I think there's a few that aren't necessarily on here because they're like, it looks like there's other drawings. It looks like Atomos. Except we have Atomos right here. Yeah, Atomos is the ending one. Although I could see where you thought that. But yeah, this message, in case you weren't able to read between the lines on it, because it's not 100% clear, two people, his wife and daughter, got lost in the storm, and he died. This is a message left by Garnet's dad. Garnet's real name is Sarah. She is Princess Sarah. And Queen Jane. And if you don't get that, that's a Final Fantasy I reference. Princess Sarah and Queen Jane were the royalty in the castle of Cornelia at the beginning of Final Fantasy I. You're hella curious now? Time to research? If you find anything, I'd love to hear it. I'm curious as can be what all of them are supposed to be. Because, yeah, like, this one doesn't... there's only two that we really don't know, and it's, like, this one and this one. The rest of them, kind of obvious. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, this one was Phoenix. And this one was, like, Alexander. Yeah, so that's the important thing there that we learned. We learned Garnet's real name, and we got some information about the Summoner tribe, that they weren't originally from this area, how summons kind of work, that they're born out of beliefs of people. There's also the brothers side quest that we could do, but it involves a lot of running back and forth in the final dungeon. Because pretty much every time there's a line of dialogue in the dungeon, you have to run all the way back out and then go to Lindblum to check in with the brothers. But to give you an idea, it's essentially just a running gag throughout the final dungeon. Let's see, do I got this still? That results in this. This is on my other save file where I tried to do this. But essentially, the brothers, and it turns out sisters, I guess, all start looking for each other throughout the final dungeon, and every time one shows up, they're like, where are the others? I'll go find them. And the list just gets longer and longer and longer of rhyming names. So I think this is like the second to last one I clipped. But it's, you know, Zanero and Bonero and Gennaro and Dinero and Panero and Bonera and Zanera and Gennara aren't here, says Dinera. And that's all it is. And at the very end of it, you get a protect ring. It's a funny gag, but it's way more of a pain in the butt than we're going to do tonight on stream.